Hello and welcome to the Daily Shift Friday edition, where we talk about how to get ready for wealth this weekend. We're talking about leverage and the fastest way to wealth. I'll share here a couple of experiences of my own growth and also a few frameworks that I live by. And I think you're going to enjoy this. But first off, just give me a quick type in the chat of how your energy is today, how you're feeling, and what part of the country you're in. Just let me know who's here and watching and listening. Got the comments up in front of me. Feel free to pop in with questions as well. All right, we're going to dive in. So the key to growing real wealth, I see so many people in the real estate investing business who are in the wholesaling game, who are doing a deal, getting a check, on to the next deal, or the fix and flip game, doing a deal, fixing the deal, getting on to the next. And even in the early stages, I was saying, how can I build real wealth? How can I set myself up to where I can build consistent wealth and build it in a way that is sustainable and wealth that outlasts me? How can I give back more and do more? Now, by the end of today's show, you're going to have some actionables that you can take away and be able to leverage some own things in your life, assets you may not even know you have. The greatest asset all of us have, and I'm going to talk about this last, is time. Something that we don't know how much we have and we can never get back. We have 24 hours today. We're already halfway through the day on the West Coast and the East Coast, over halfway through the day in terms of the 24-hour span. And so knowing that we have that 24 hours and we don't get to choose that we have 24, we just got it. And we get to choose how we use it, though. I'm going to talk a lot about time leverage, but I want to start out by talking about something that probably is obvious, except it's something I wish I knew that when I started. I'm going to talk about capital leverage, and whether you have money, a lot of money, a little money, or other things, assets, or very little money, figuring out how to leverage capital is by far the greatest hack to start building wealth. Now, something else that I want to talk about is how you can leverage systems and automations and AI in today's market. If you're not leveraging AI, you're going to be behind the curve by far to those who are. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to talk about leveraging your content or your brand. Whether you think you have a brand or not, you do. It's what your friends think, your family thinks, your coworkers think, or people on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this, think about you. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about leveraging that brand, leveraging your reach and that content. And then we're going to talk about time leverage. I'm going to move through these rapidly, so if you're in a place to do so, take lots of notes. Hello, Lucky. Good to see you from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Patricia, so good to see you, Patty. Marlon, good to see you, brother. Mary, good to see you. Lucky, let's give Andrew some likes and let's go. Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate that. All right. Well, welcome to the Daily Shift. And we are shifting the topics day by day. So Monday is Motivation Monday, where we come on and give you some hype for the week ahead. And Tuesday is where we interview other business owners and show you other insights. Wednesday is where we show up and we give you real estate topics, tactical real estate information and investing. And Thursday is where we are doing Bible studies. And Friday is your weekend wealth segment, where I'm going to dive in today talking about leverage. Les, thank you so much. Good to see you here, my friend. All right, so let's dive in. It's going to be a rapid show, rapid moving. Capital leverage, using other people's money. That can be private money. That can be credit lines, business credit lines. That can be joint venture partnerships. That could be seller financing. That can be bank money. There is so much capital that is available. We just have to find out how to be able to tap into it. Now, today I'm not going to have time to get into all the ways to tap into capital. But I do want to point out, if you find yourself around the right people, you're in the right place, and you'll meet some of them. In fact, on Tuesday, I'm going to be interviewing a guy who helps us get business credit lines. And we're going to be talking about how to leverage capital. How do we leverage what you have built, whether it be your credit, whether it be credit cards, whether it be banks or assets you might have, land, houses, property. How do we get access to money? Private lending, relationships, joint ventures, partnerships. But leveraging money is how I got started in real estate investing 11 years ago. It's how I gathered hundreds of deeds and started buying houses, was because I understood if I can get the seller to carry the paper for me, if I can get the seller to let me pay them later, or I can take over the debt that's on the property, I can use other people's money, bank money and people's money. So that's number one. Of course, got to incentivize them for doing so. If we're using bank money, they get interest. If we're using other people's money, they get a part of the deal or interest or whatever your agreement is with them. Now, the rule with capital, make sure you always have a clear path of how you're going to pay it back and make it bring back babies. So what do I mean by that? I always tell people who work closely with me, I say, I want you only writing a big check if you're getting a bigger check back in a fairly short amount of time. Why? Because now, yes, we can, of course, invest into products and funds and services and all the places where we invest. But every place I invest, it is for it to grow. The people who stay broke are constantly stuck in preservation and saving. The people of wealth are constantly expanding and multiplying. So understand how the wealthy think. Wealthy people use OPM, other people's money, and learn to leverage capital. Leverage deals. I want to talk about this real briefly before I move into systems and how to use softwares and services. But I'm going to give you an example of leverage. When a deal came to me recently, a deal came to me, and it is a deal that I'm going to buy for probably $25,000, let's say. I'm going to buy the house for $25,000. I'm going to use other people's money to purchase it, and I'm going to borrow more than I need. They're going to be a partner on the deal. And then I am going to turn around and be able to resell that house for probably double or triple of what I paid for it. Why? Because I learned to use other people's money by calling and negotiating a deal, by allowing someone else to put in capital and make money on it and partnering them. And now, of course, when I resell it, they're going to make money and I'm going to make money. That's just one little example. I started out, I remember finding a guy who was a tired landlord who agreed to deed me his property in return for me agreeing to cover his monthly mortgage payment. The first time that ever happened, it blew my mind, and I was so excited. I'd found the secret hack to life. And I tell you, and we talked about this on Wednesday, is there's so many stats I want to geek out on right now, but I'm going to keep rolling, that we can leverage money. We can leverage opportunity that's in front of us and use money, business lines of credit, any money that we get access to. And when we start to see money is energy, money is energy. And when you see money as energy, money as something that flows rather than this finite thing, because frankly, the Federal Reserve, that's a whole nother story, but they print money all the time. Money is made up. Money is energy, and it is the coming to you in exact accordance to the value add to the marketplace. And once we remove the emotional or bad programming around money, we can start leveraging it to make us have the life and live the mission we were meant to live. All right? Number one, leverage money. Number two, leverage software and AI. I'm going to give you a couple super simple. A lot of my illustrations are in real estate because that's a business I'm in. Right here is a perfect example. We have deals that come to us all the time. People raise their hand and say, I want to sell a property, right? Could be a client, no matter what business you're in. Maybe you're in the coaching business. Maybe you're in the personal training business. Maybe you're in some other industry, but people come to you and say, hey, I'm interested in selling you my house, or I'm interested in X, whatever your business is. Now, most deals, as you probably know, are going to be from the follow-up. Yes, there's a few, maybe 3 or 4% that you're going to talk to. And on that first conversation, you're going to do the deal. They're going to write you a check or sell you the house or whatever it may be. But the majority of those deals are going to come from multiple conversations over time. So starting out, the way I followed up was I would text every single person. I would call every single person. I would follow up with every single person. I would keep me a calendar, which, by the way, live by your calendar. I highly recommend it. I would get me a calendar. And I would have all of my follow-ups scheduled out. Had me a paper calendar every single day, morning to night, was my follow-ups. Now we have beautiful automations and systems. Shout out to all my tech guys, tech gurus out here who know so much about automation and AI. In fact, I challenge you, if you've not done it, you should go into ChatGPT today and ask it, what's 10 tools that I could implement into my business now to make my life easier? And something as small as ChatGPT or a Notion board to start organizing your life and your communication with your business partner, or communication around systems, or something as simple as Go High Level, or the guys at Closure Control, shout out to Connor and crew, who have automations where every single day they're following up with people who are wanting to do business with them. Such powerful tools out there. And now you push a button one time and follow-up happens for weeks or even months without you ever thinking about it again until you get a notification that says, hey, this person is now ready to do business with you. Guys, I'm telling you, the world that we're moving into, I'm not going to have time, even if I stayed on here 2 or 3 hours, to scratch the surface. But 1 hour of your time with today's leverage and today's opportunities can really, if you're using systems, automations, AI, software, for your industry. If you're in the real estate investing business, get Closure Control. Absolutely. And get that thing following up for you. Get it talking to sellers and buyers, texting with them for you. Yet figure out how you can leverage some software. Figure out how you can leverage tracking. You can even have ChatGPT to schedule your calendar for you. Say, hey, I have all this crap I got to do. Tell it all you got to do. I have these times open. Help me organize it. We'll talk more about time leverage in a moment. One little shift that can change your whole world. AI can turn what used to may have took you 20, 30, 40 hours into a few minutes of work. Give you something that blew my mind, and I'm going to share this, and then we're going to move on to talking about using your brand. I was talking to my attorney the other day. Leo and I have in-house counsel, incredible guy. Been our attorney for, probably a decade now. And we're having a conversation, one of his businesses. And as we're having this conversation, he tells me something that blows my mind. He says to me, in this one business I run, he said, we have to go through sometimes up to 50,000 pages of documents, and it would take a secretary of mine X amount of hours to be able to go through all these documents with a fine-tooth comb to find the errors that we had to fix to help have success with the clients. He said to me, with AI, like it is now, I can upload that 50,000 pages documents, and in under 2 minutes, he told me how many seconds on average, I forget the exact amount of seconds. In under 2 minutes, it will spit out every challenge. It used to take dozens of hours for a secretary to comb through 50,000 documents and find. From hours and hours and hours and hours of time to less than 2 minutes. I'm telling you guys, the way it's moving is so incredible. And have a 20-minute chat every single day with ChatGPT if you're not already doing it. If you don't have it, go out and get you a Plaud, a Plaud, and use that to transcribe all your meetings. Plug the transcript from that into ChatGPT. I'm telling you, the ideas it's going to dump out for you and business strategies is incredible. And then for those of you who are working with us in our mastermind family, you come to us now with a strong baseline for us to be able to start building stuff together on and give direction off of. It's a powerful thing. Let's look at the comments, and then we're going to dive to your brand leverage and wrap up with time leverage. Guys, if you have questions, just put them in the chat. I see Lucky says, would you recommend Facebook ads? If yes, what would the budget be? It depends on the industry and it depends on where you are in the business. If you're asking about real estate or if you're asking about brand and info business, I like Facebook ads for both. If you're talking about real estate investing, pay-per-click on Google Ads is way better. The challenge is making sure that you're confident on the phone or have someone who is to be able to hop on and close these leads. Because when you start spending the money on the leads, we want to make sure we're making best use of them. I have bought hundreds of houses, probably would be safe in saying hundreds of them, a large portion of meaning hundreds of the houses that I've bought have probably came from pay-per-click or pay-per-lead marketing. So if you want to put a budget toward that and you're feeling good about your phone calls, Lucky, I would suggest doing a pay-per-lead service like Property Lead Source or some other thing like that. But you should message my team or send a DM. We should hop on a chat and do a deep dive together as well. Les says, let's go, Connor. Yes. Bill says, Andrew, lovely Friday to you. Amazing, amazing. So next, guys, content leverage. As I said, don't matter whether you think you do or you think you don't. You got a personal brand. It's what the people around you think about you. Go in your cell phone and text 5 people who know you and ask what their thought process is of you. And guess what? That's your personal brand. So it's just a matter of whether we're going to take control and leverage. Talking about the fastest way to build wealth is leverage. Leveraging capital, other people's money, leveraging systems and AI in today's market, leveraging content, and your personal brand. And then we're going to talk about time leverage. How do you leverage your personal brand? How do you leverage content? If you're brand new to it, start by making a post. Over half my posts are written. An idea comes to me, a thought comes to me, it's a picture with written post. Those posts have made us a ton of money and built an incredible brand over the years. Another way is I speak at local events quite often. I'm going to a local real estate event in San Diego, actually, here in a couple days. Do them in Louisville all the time. So understanding that when we speak, have somebody record with a phone and post it. How do we leverage content? Ask yourself, what do the people who are following me, what do the people need? For me, it's saying, okay, people know I'm a real estate investor. People send me deals all the time who follow me online. Ask to partner with us. We partner with various community members. What's another way that we leverage? Another way we leverage is we find people who want to work with us and grow their businesses. That is a way my brand or my content is leveraged. That's where our mastermind members often come from. Somebody who sees us online, sees a YouTube video, sees on Facebook, and says, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I love that you're doing big developments, big deals, commercial properties, single family properties, and staying on the cutting edge. How do I get closer to what you guys are doing? And in that, boom, new world opens up to you. What's another way you can leverage your content? Of course, there's many platforms, but if you're newer to the business, pick one. I like Facebook, and LinkedIn is actually starting to have some shifts as well. You should do some research on that. But go on Facebook and just commit to posting twice a week. Write something that's good that you think you would want to read and post it out for others. Understand that when you're putting out content, everybody who's watching your videos or watching your posts are listening to the radio station of WIFM. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Understand that everyone who's listening to your videos, watching your content, reading your posts are looking at what's in it for them. It's human nature. It's not good or bad. It just is. So how are you sharing things in a way that empowers them? You will notice a lot of my posts online are just giving a value of something I've learned. Some of it is in story form. It's things I've learned through the last 11 years of hundreds of deals, things I'm learning through a 280 unit development, things I'm learning through owning properties and doing things over the last 11 years. Some of those things is just updating on the market. I'm seeing this data. I'm seeing this happen. I'm seeing foreclosures increase. And so whatever the situation may be, I'm seeing delinquencies increase. And so I'm just updating people who are on the market and how they can use the market that we're in today, because the rich people run in when broke people run out. People of wealth run in. They do what the 1% do. So in my mind, every post is helping people be guided to become more like the 1% so they can improve their relationship with the money, improve their relationship with God, and improve their relationship with themselves. That's my mission. So every post in some way is leading back to that. Even if it's not about any of those three things, it's leading back to that. All right? Write once, record once. It's called, type it in the chat, one too many. This is why I love speaking on stages, because I get to share with 30, 40, 50, 60 people life-changing information. I also love one-on-one, but I can speak to more people when it's one too many. You get to do that to the tune. Leo, some of his videos get millions of views. One to many. That's leveraging content in your brand. Now, last but not least, leveraging your time. Number 4, leverage your time. All right? As we are about to wrap up, I want to point out how important it is that we use the time we have wisely. And right before I went live here, come on in and say hi if you want, brother.
What up?
What up, bro? Leave me hanging. All right. See ya. So for all of you, leveraging time is key. I was just talking to Leo right before I went live about the fact that many times meetings get put on the calendar for an hour, and we can knock out the majority of the things in under 15 minutes. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes you got to ideate things out. But what if we, I don't know, started to organize our calendar better? Something I want to point out to you guys, and this is not a brag, it's not a complaint. I'm just sharing this with you. The last couple of weeks, we have multiple projects going. We have the real estate investing business. We have multiple portfolios closing. We have multiple deals that are in flow and going. Had multiple meetings. We're working on some projects with some of our mastermind students, and those are closing out. We're working on a marketing campaign to get ready for our next event. And so I knew among the 3 companies, I knew there was going to be a lot of meetings. So I said, okay, what can I do to leverage my time? To leverage my time, I need to get up earlier. Most mornings I get up between 5:30, maybe right before 5. So the last 2 weeks, I've been getting up between 3 and 4 every morning. Gains me an extra hour. Now you say, don't you need to sleep at night? Yes, I do. I do get tired in the evenings earlier than I used to. And it gives me extra time to knock out a bunch of business and work and gym and morning routine before all the meetings start. And then in the evenings, booking out times. Now, I know that's a season, except we're knocking out these projects. Now, I share this because ask yourself, am I using my time properly? Am I leveraging my time? How do we do that? We take inventory. We look at the day, and all of us are probably very busy. All of us are probably very busy. You look at this and you go, okay, people are busy. People got a lot going, except are we really being productive? See, I can go to the grocery store, just one little example of time leverage. I could go to the grocery store. I could get all the groceries for the week. That might take me 3 hours if I didn't have a list and I'm just going from memory. Or I could shorten that time by making a list, planning the week, and getting all the stuff in, let's say, an hour. By the time I drive to the store, get the stuff, bring it back home, unload it, maybe I'm out 90 minutes. Or what if I made the list in 10 minutes? Maybe I used ChatGPT to make the meal plan on the list. Or I had me a personal trainer who wrote it out for me. What if I then put that into a Uber Eats order, grocery order, let somebody else shop for me? Yes, It's leveraging time and money because I got to pay a tip and pay them to shop, have them to bring it to my door. And now the thing that could have took 3 hours unplanned or planned took 90 minutes now takes maybe 20 minutes of my time between planning, ordering, and putting it away. Now, I just share that for an example because that's one small example of how you can leverage your time. Let's take it to a bigger scale. What if you're having meetings and you're calling sellers and you're talking to clients or sellers if you're in the real estate investing business every day for 3 or 4 hours? What if instead of talking to 25 sellers a day, we could narrow that down, hire an answering service or a pre-screening company to cut that down, and we could talk to 5 sellers a day to get the same results we used to get talking to 25 sellers a day? Leveraging time. All right? Leveraging time doesn't mean packing all the meetings back to back to back and having an overwhelming day. Leveraging time means figuring out what is my IGAs, my income generating activities, and doing more of those so I can have the life I desire. And what is my MWAs, my minimum wage activities, and how do I hire those out and do less of those? Every time you cut the yard, it costs you. So we have a great yard guy that comes every 14 days. Every time you do the landscaping, it's costing you. It's costing you. So that's why we have great landscaping crew. Everything that you do all day long is either taking you closer to your goals or taking you further from your goals. All right, guys, thank you for being here. Happy Friday. Make it a blessed weekend. Use your time, use your knowledge, use the resources you have. We live in exciting times. We live in a golden era of massive opportunity. Take this weekend, Saturday, get ahead a little bit. Go make some more calls, go close some more deals, go make some things happen. Sunday, get rested up, talk to God, have an amazing and restful day. And on Monday, we'll be back here, same place, same time, talking to you about some really exciting things that you're not going to want to miss. All right, this new format's about to get exciting as we start to ramp up this show. Thank you guys for being here from the early stages. I'll see you Monday, same place, same time. Have a blessed weekend.